Hi, peace be with you. Thank you for taking this time to engage with today's Matt Talk, a video podcast for the friends and family of Coming First United Methodist Church. For me, Pastor Matt. Well, today is Monday, June the 5th, 2023. Today is our last Matt Talk for the next couple of weeks. I'm taking some time off for a family vacation, and so the next Matt Talk is scheduled to be June the 26th. I look forward to once again meeting with you at that time. Well, preparing for vacation reminds me of the need for all of us to observe some form of Sabbath. Now, we can get caught up in trying to be technical concerning Sabbath as to what it is and what it's not, and how do you correctly take a Sabbath. However, let us be aware that this is exactly what the religious people of Jesus' day were doing, being very technical about the Sabbath. For me, Sabbath is simply this. On the sixth day, God completed all the work that God had done, and on the seventh day, God rested from all the work God had done. God blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy because on it God rested from all the work of creation. That's from Genesis, and it describes for me what Sabbath really is. Sabbath is a day of rest. God took a day to rest after working 6 days, and God set the pattern for us to take a day of rest every 7 days. Again, we don't get technical about which day of the week that we should take. Sabbath was originally observed on the last day of the week, which is Saturday. However, since Jesus was resurrected on the first day of the week, Sunday, we Christians observe Sabbath on Sunday. It really doesn't matter which day of the week we take Sabbath. It's just important that we observe a Sabbath. For us Christians, Sabbath is a day of rest and a day of worship of God, who created us and who created Sabbath for us. At times we may feel like there is just too much to get done to take a Sabbath. But studies have been done over and over showing that one is way more productive when we take time off to disconnect and rest. To work 6 days, one can do a lot more than if we try to work 7 days, week after week. A constant day after day routine is not healthy for us. It's not healthy for us physically. It's not healthy for us mentally. It's not healthy for us spiritually. And it's certainly not healthy for us relationally. We need Sabbath to be well as God intended for us to be. We may also use the excuse that we cannot financially afford a Sabbath. But Sabbath doesn't have to be costly. It's just a day where we rest. Enjoy God's creation in some form. Remember that it is God who created and it is God who is in control. You and I, well, we're just instruments of God, the God who has said that Sabbath is important, and the God who has exemplified that we all need rest. We need time to reflect on God. We need time to disconnect. We need time to remember it's not all about us. Of course, as much as we might think otherwise, staying in Sabbath is not good either. We all need something to do. We need to contribute and to offer ourselves to God to be engaged with what God desires for us to do. And as long as we're breathing and conscious, we can encourage and minister to others through a kind word or a gracious gesture like a smile or a small act of help. So Sabbath is so very important. And yet, coming out of Sabbath and engaging in the work of God is also important. So I'm going to get away for a time to disconnect and to rest and to renew and to practice Sabbath. And I pray that you will regularly find time to do the same. And when we have observed Sabbath, then let us come back and be faithful to the work of being disciples of Jesus, to be the church together representing Christ in the world, and to once a week gather for worship of the God who keeps all things working together, and appreciating that this task does belong to God and God alone, and not to us. Well, until next time, may you practice Sabbath, and may the peace and joy of the Lord be with you.